about the move of the boy king's thousands of treasures to the soon-to-open state-of-the-art great grand Egyptian museum is allowing fascinating new research. And a century on, there are fresh questions about how Tutankhamun became a political icon, whether Carter rubbed his thumb, and why Egyptians got little credit for helping to find it. From the start, the one-of-a-kind excavation was dogged by controversy. Although the rules of the time dictated that the contents of an intact royal thumb should stay in Egypt, it was widely believed there would be efforts to spirit them overseas. While Carter and Carvinum, struggling with a global media frenzy, cut a deal with a British newspaper that kept other journalists, including Egyptians, out of the thumb, it created animosity. Historian Christina Riggis says the pair ended up being seen in Egypt as a very old school, very much aligned with racist attitudes and the powers that be. The country had been occupied by British forces in 1882, but gained partial independence in early 1922. Tutankhamun became part of the ongoing struggle to be free of imperial influence. This is a powerful symbol that this king is being reborn as Joseph the Egypt being reborn, comments Dr. Riggis, who wrote Treasured How Tutankhamun Shaped Our Century. Egypt is the mother of the civilization, and Tutankhamun is our father, saying the Egyptian diva Munira al-Mahdiya in the 1920s. Meanwhile, the celebrated poet Ahmed Shawqi wrote definitely, we refuse to allow our parametry to be measured on for thieves to steal it away. Egyptology's most famous find on much to good fortune, dug into the floor of the Valley of the Kings, debris and long hidden the thumb entrance from robbers and archaeologists alike. However, the luck of Lord Carvenon ran out in early 1923. He died apparently from an infected mosquito bite. Although many in the media were quick to attribute it to a pernicious curse. Over the next decade, it was left to Carter unpack the precious treasures in the thumb with his team. He was known as a stubborn, undiplomatic man, and his relations with the Egyptian Antiquities Service, which oversaw the work, could often be antagonistic. From early on, how can I pronounce it? Early? From early on, rumors swirled that he had tried to steal. Now, Egyptologist Bob Breer has uncovered firm evidence of thieves. In his book, Tutankhamun and the Thumb That Changed the World, he quotes letter from the theologist. How can I pronounce it? Like philologist, Sir Alan Gardiner, in which he complains about his awkward position after being told by an expert that an almond and thumb seals Carter had given him were stolen. I found Carter was giving things away as souvenirs. Dr. Breeder tells me. He just thought he owned it. The Stampens rooms at Highclere Castle in unperishable scene far removed from the dusty Valley of the Kings. But the stately home nowadays known as the settling for the period drama Downton Abbey was Lord Governor's ancestral home. The lifelong adventurer who had once tried to sail around the world was also an early. How can I pronounce it? How can I pronounce it correctly? Like early or early? Please comment me. Motorist who narrowly avoided death in a road accident before turning his attention to Egyptology. In Egypt, he found his passion for life, according to the modern-day Lady Governor, who delved into her family's archive to write the Aral, and the Para. What is Aral? I don't know about that. While he worried about how to finance the costly composition of his incredible find, she says that she found a note by her relative saying he felt it should stay in Egypt. Lady Governor blames a travel myriad. What is myriad? What is myriad? Myriad of many misinformation. Oh yeah, misinformation in the press for suggesting otherwise. Yes, he was less interested in treasure and gold than making discoveries, she says. Oh, I see. Ultimately, Egypt did manage to hold on to the marvels found inside Tutankhamun's tomb. For decades, they were the prized exhibits of the neoclassical Egyptian museums in Cairo's Tahrir Square. Tutankhamun's soiled gold funeral mask, seen as a masterpiece of ancient art, has become an emblem for modern Egypt. However, anger remains that Egyptians themselves have remained writing out of the official story of the momentous 1922 discovery. Most names have disappointed from the archaeological record. Why don't know what they did? We don't know what they did. Were there any? What were their reactions? Asked geologist Manikahana. Besides the Egyptians, laborers used to clear the tomb site. Carter also employed skilled Egyptian foremen, including Ahmed Carrier, God Hansen, Hussein Abu Awad, and Hussein Ahmed said. Like Carter himself, who had only a limited formal education before traveling to Egypt to join an archaeological expedition aged 17, they trained on the job. This year, an exhibition on Oxford University has highlighted the role of the Egyptian workers. But while their officers photographs of them, no record was kept to indicate who was who. After all, the fascination with King Tutankhamun surged in the 1960s and 70s as Egypt allowed his precious possessions to be loaned to overseas museums for blockbuster exhibition. It led to an outbreak of what has been called Tut mania in popular Western culture. When the Grand Egyptian Museum, one of the largest in the world, opens by Giza Pyramids, opens by the Giza Pyramids, probably in 2023, it is expected to fuel new interest. The hope is that it will be a boost for tourism bringing 5 million visitors in a year. 나도 가고 싶다. It will show for the first time the entire Tutankhamun collection, some 5,400 items. The Grand Egyptian Museum will provide a unique chance to rediscover the thumb and the same, as in the same way that Howard Carter did 100 years ago, says Turk Topik, its former director. Other highlights will be the magnificent ancient Khufu barge and 1803 statue of Ramses II, painstakingly moved from Cairo's main railway station. Meanwhile, 100 years on, Tutankhamun continues to inspire new ways of scientific discovery. Modern conservation work is ongoing restoration of fragile artifacts like his sandals. There's new confirmation that a dagger he owned has an iron blade made from amethyst. Theologies about the young pharaoh's life are constantly being remade. His mummy? What is mummy? Okay, let's keep it on. His mummy has been cats, scanned, undergone facial reconstruction, and subjected to DNA analysis. It has built a picture of him as a frail, bug-toothed adolescent suffering from a range of genetic disorders as a result of inbreeding in the royal family. However, Dr. Reader, known as Mr. Mr. Mummy, for his expertise in mummification. Wow! Is that a word? Mummification exists? Interesting. Now, questions the idea that Tutankhamun had a clubfoot. What is a clubfoot? From looking at his bones. I see. So the conclusion is I want to go to Egypt. I want to go to Egypt someday. Far from the idea of the fraudulent pharaoh, he says all of this starts to add to the picture that Tutankhamun at least went in a battle. Oh my goodness. After a century of making news headlines, Tutankhamun can boast an impressive afterlife, just a very different one from what he would ever have imagined. The end.